another Broadway Media webinar series. Today, we will be talking about StagePlayer 101. Ooh, we're having a little bit of an audio issue here. Give me 1 second to correct that.
I love hearing Melissa in surround sound. It's like my favorite thing.
Okay. Hey, this is like live theater, right?
I love it.
It's corrected now, but at least we know that our streaming has gone through live because that's what we heard. All right, so again, today we are featuring StagePlayer 101. So we will be doing a live demo of StagePlayer. Now, over the last month, since our last webinar, we've been asking you, our viewers, to help us pick what show we would be demonstrating today in StagePlayer. And the answer was loud and clear. Ladies, what are we featuring today?
Oh, dun 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 dun. Shaboom! I love a reveal.
StagePlayer 101 today will be featuring Newsies. So my name is Melissa and I am the community manager, and these are some of my peers.
Hi, I'm Karen. I am the sales development representative.
Hi, everybody. I'm Erin. I am your accounts manager.
Great. So we'll be demonstrating StagePlayer here live for you in just a moment. But before we get to that, we figured it's probably important that you know, what is StagePlayer? So StagePlayer was designed to be simple and intuitive, and it gives you the power of Broadway at your fingertips. StagePlayer is a buffer-free playback software that takes the complexities and cost of a media server and it puts it in the cloud. It makes it easier than ever to integrate digital scenery into your next production. It features simple editing and performance controls for elevated production values that perfectly complement the action on stage. And best of all, it was created for theater makers by theater makers. So now we're going to hand it over to Erin, who's going to share her screen here, and she's going to take you through all of the screens of StagePlayer. Take it away, Erin.
All right. I'm taking over. Let's do this. Okay, everybody. So this is what StagePlayer looks like. First thing you are going to notice is we've got two different screens here. This over here is our our control screen, and over here, this black box is our output screen. Normally, your projector would be working as a second screen that you would drag this guy to, but so that you can see it in this demo, I'm just going to leave it right there. One great thing about StagePlayer is that it allows you to handle more than one show at a time. So I've got quite a few loaded in my account, but if you're running like the high school show and the middle school show at the same time, not a problem. StagePlayer allows you to run both from one device. So when you first log on to StagePlayer, you're going to see your show in the library here with this orange download button. I've already pre-done this step for Newsies because it can take a little bit of time, but you're going to hit that button and that's going to start downloading your show. So from here to here, this download bar, once it's finished, that orange button will go away and it will turn into it'll turn into either this green present button or a blue preview button if you're in the watermark part of your rental, a settings button, delete and reset. This is the only part of StagePlayer that requires internet access, which is great, especially if your theater is, like the high school that I went to, made out of cinder block, doesn't have great Wi-Fi reception. No worries there, it won't disrupt your show. Now, before we jump into our feature presentation here of Newsies, I want to go over our tools menu. So over here on the left, right now we're on the library, but if you click on tools, this will bring you to some different options and things that can help you set up your hardware. So first, when you're setting up your projector, these test patterns can be really helpful. First, we have our HD grid, which once we click on it, you can now see it in our output window here. And this can help you make sure that your projector is hanging straight, that your corners don't need keystoning, things like that. You can also test your colors and your grayscale to make sure everything is working perfectly before we go ahead and put the projections in. This is the first opportunity you have to customize your curtain warmer. This one right here is kind of the standard for all shows on StagePlayer before we get into customized curtain warmers. So click on that, we can see it. And this is their first opportunity to upload your own curtain warmer. So a lot of schools will have like a local business sponsor their show. Not a problem, you can upload their logo as your curtain warmer, and then everybody knows that they are, being helpful. This is also where you can reset your password and also reset your app if needed. This will log you out of StagePlayer, but it also means you'll have to re-download your content. So unless you're instructed to do that, if you're having issues, I wouldn't hit that button. Lastly, over here is our output window. So if we hit this button, toggle full screen, that would take our output window here and make it full screen. This is the easiest way to make sure that you're getting the biggest picture possible. So when you drag this to your second screen, you will then hit that button. It'll bring it to full screen. It'll also block out any sort of menus you may have on your screen, like this toolbar up here. It'll block that out and make sure it fits fully to screen. Also over here is our enable sound button. If any of you just finished All Together Now, you know that we needed sound for that show to play the videos. So if you're doing a show that requires sound, you can just toggle that on and off as you need. All right, if we go back over to the left, we've got, we're in tools right now. We're going to click back to our library. And last step before we jump into presenting Newsies, instead of hitting that green present button, we're going to hit this gray settings button. Now here is where you can make different changes to the show that will affect Newsies only. So once again, we can adjust our curtain warmer. Now we have the choice between the full StagePlayer master or the one for Newsies specifically, or again, you can upload a custom one. This is also where you can customize where that curtain warmer is going to show up. So if you don't want a curtain warmer, you can toggle the whole thing off. Right now, a StagePlayer automatically is set up to play your curtain warmer at the beginning of the show, at the end of each act. So that would be at the beginning of the show, at the end of the show, and during the intermission. But you can always, toggle that on, toggle that off, whatever you want. Here's also where you can fix your blackout settings. StagePlayer comes with a blackout only after the curtain warmer, but if you don't want that, you can turn it off. You can add blackouts to the end of each scene. So if you need some darkness to maybe move some physical set pieces on and off, you can do that. You can also have it black out at the end of each act, whatever you want to make this show your own. Last but not least, if we go over here and hit this button, this is where we can edit the cues to fit your vision. So if we click that button, the cues are sorted just like your script. So they're broken down by act, then by scene, and then by cues within that scene. So if we click into scene 1, we'll see that there are 6 different cues within that scene. Here's where you can make some adjustments. So let's say the first cue here is the Newsboys Lodging House. Let's say you're going to have some physical bunk beds, for your actors to play around on. You don't want to use this scene. Not a problem. You can just disable it, and now StagePlayer will automatically skip that scene. It's been removed from your show. Not to worry. If you change your mind, you can just come back into your settings here and re-enable it, and it's back like it never went anywhere. You can also duplicate things and move things around. So let's say you at the end of the world, this headline, you want it to go again after here. So we're going to hit duplicate. So now we have 2 of them. And then by hitting sort up here, now they're kind of shaking. That allows you to drag and drop. So we can take that second one, move it where we want it to go, hit this edit button, and now it's right where we want it. Last but not least, when you're making any changes, be sure to hit this save button. All right, and to get back to the main menu, you can either just hit library again, and that'll take you back to the library page, or you can keep hitting back until you're where you want to be. All right, I think we're finally ready to jump into Newsies and take a look at what these projections look like and how you can control them. So we're going to hit that green present button. This is how you're going to start every performance. All right, so a couple things to note about this page here. This box right here is our active window. So whatever is in this box is what's going to be on your screen. So right now it's black, it matches our black screen. This little box over here is what's coming up next, what's on deck. So right now we have black, and in the yellow box is our curtain warmer. You'll notice that's going to match down here. So the active window is pink. So the cue that is active will be highlighted pink, and the one that's on deck will be highlighted yellow to match. In an ideal world, we would only use these 3 buttons to control your show. We have skip to next, transition to next, and blackout. So let's jump into Newsies and we will show you how these work. All right, so here is our curtain warmer, and we can see it on our output right here. After the curtain warmer is the blackout, because that is what we scheduled it to do. So transitioning to the blackout. All right, so here is our first animation of the show. So one thing you're going to notice is that this is a 15-second animation. And then when that video ends, it's going to go into a 5-second loop video. If you don't touch it, this will keep looping over and over and over again. StagePlayer is meant to be adjusted in real time. So if you have, your students are nervous and they're going faster than usual, no worries, it can adjust. Or if they're so nervous that they drop a line or skip ahead, no worries, StagePlayer can adjust. The difference when we move forward between transition to next and skip to next is when we hit transition to next, it's going to wait until the end of this 5-second video to begin the transition. So I'm clicking the button, it's transitioning, and then at the end of this 5-second video, it's going on. We now have the sun rising on the scene. So now we have our lodge house on deck, and those kids are ready to move now. They don't have time to wait to the end of this 5-second video. Now second skip to next, and it will immediately start that transition, usually in 2 to 4 seconds. Last but not least, if at any moment you want to add a blackout manually, you can do that. You just hit this blackout button, and that will change and add a blackout. You'll notice, though, that it saved our place in this cue sheet down here. So at any time when we're ready to move on from that blackout, transition next, and it'll take us right out of that blackout. All right, so up until this point, we've been going pretty much in order of the show. So down here is your cue sheet. It is sorted by act, by scene, by cue, description, a page number that will match your script, and then a cue line so your operator knows when to move forward. But we don't expect you to only use this for performances. We hope that you'll use it for rehearsals as well. And as we know, we don't rehearse every scene completely in order. So not a problem. We can go ahead and skip forward. I am going to go ahead and skip ahead to cue 19 here. It's my favorite scene of the show. So we're going to click on it. Now, if you hit cue next, it's going to be like transition to next, where it will put this scene over here in our on deck box. But if we hit jump next, it'll put it in, ready to go. It'll move automatically. So let's hit jump next. And now it's going to start this beautiful animation. For those familiar with the show, this is the scene where Jack is drawing a portrait of Catherine on a bit of a scrap of newspaper to go along with a song. It's absolutely beautiful. It goes with the script perfectly. I especially love the art styling of this show, because not only do you have that newspaper in the back of every single scene, but also, with the way that the transitions move in and out, it's almost like Jack is drawing our scenes. So you have his two loves, newspapers and being a newsie, and then also drawing in his spare time. All right, so while that's continuing to go, there's Catherine. last but not least, we have some buttons up here. So this output full screen button, it's like that other button we saw in the tool menu. It allows this to go full screen. So you can wait until this point, drag it over to your projector, hit output full screen, and that's how you'll get, you know, the maximum distance of your projector. Anytime you want to input the curtain warmer, you can hit this button to play it next, and that will jump and put it in the on deck box. And you'll notice that skip down our cue sheet as well to the next curtain warmer. You can also hit this button to play it immediately if you need to add a curtain warmer immediately. Not a problem. You just hit the button, and there it goes. Once again, we're at the end of Act 1. It skips ahead to the next curtain warmer. If at any time you want to pause this animation, so like if we jump forward here, say things are going a little bit faster than you're used to, you can just hit pause, and that will pause the animation for you. It pauses directly at that spot, and you can resume when you're ready. And then lastly, we're at the end of our show. There's thunderous applause. And when you're ready to exit, you'll just hit this end show button. In case it's hit accidentally during the show, are you sure? Yes, it's the end of the show. And so we'll hit that button, and it brings you back to our StagePlayer library, ready to go again the next night.
Great job, Erin. That was beautiful. Okay, so as per usual, we love to do a good sneak peek. And as you can tell by this webinar, we like props. So we have a sneak peek coming up of White Christmas and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. These are our two brand new shows that we have. So why don't we take a look into seeing these a little bit closer? So first up, we have White Christmas. Just look at how festive these are. I love them. So these will take you from the Ed Sullivan Show to the Barn Theater. Every scene and setting from Irving Berlin's White Christmas is included with these beautiful festive scenic projections. And then next up, one of my personal favorites, it's so cute, is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I know I personally want to use these for like photos, backdrops. So, I mean, great fundraiser idea if you're doing the show. Do some great cast photos, do some little fundraisers. I just love them. I just think they're perfect. They're festive. And I actually think Melissa has a fun little thing with Rudolph. Oh my God, she's also festive. I love it.
Yes, got to go with those holiday festive props, like you were saying. So yes, if you join us on our Instagram on Friday of this week, so Friday, November 19th, you'll be able to see a sneak peek of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with our first production, utilizing the scenic projections. It's the Titusville Playhouse. We're so excited for them to be debuting these scenic projections, and they are doing an Instagram takeover.
They're so fun and so festive. I honestly can't wait to see what they do with it. It's going to bring me all the holiday joy. Oh my God, I'm so excited. So then obviously the part that everyone always waits for is the discount code. Okay. So the discount code is Digital Magic, and you're going to get 10% off for productions that occur prior to June 30th of 2022, which is like around the corner. And in case you're wondering what our webinar is for next month, we're going to be doing Hardware 101. I know I get these questions all the time of like, what hardware do I need? So be sure to tune in for that one, and we're going to answer all your questions. And if you have any specific questions you would like us to answer, you can always email them at hello@broadwaymedia.com. This way we can prepare and help you in our next webinar.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. We appreciated you joining us today.
Thank you so much, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving. Bye, everyone.
Bye.